2 browser windows, 1 game. Watch this, I move my square in the left window, and in the right window, the other player moves too, in real time. That's real multiplayer. A tiny node server keeps track of everyone who's connected. And a phaser client draws a square for each player and keeps them all in sync over the network. This is a complete phaser multiplayer tutorial. By the end you'll have the whole thing, a server and a client, and 2 browsers that mirror each other instantly. Every line is on screen, and I'll label every file so you always know which side you're looking at. One quick, honest note before we open the editor. If you enjoy building this, the natural next step is more finished games to take apart. So I put together a phaser game dev bundle. It's $19, 10 complete browser games, with the full source for each one. Reskin one and ship it. It's completely optional, and the link sits in the description. That's the whole pitch. Now let's build the rest of this phaser multiplayer tutorial. Let's start on the server. This is server.js, plain node. It has one job, keep the truth about who is connected. We pull an express, create the app, and wrap it in a raw HTTP server. Then we hand that server to socket.io, that's the library that gives us real-time, two-way messages between the server and every browser. app.useExpress.staticPublic serves your game files. That's the HTML, phaser, and your client code, straight out of a public folder. And here's the heart of it, a plain object called players. This object is the single source of truth. Every connected player lives in here, keyed by their socket ID, with an X and a Y. The server owns this, the clients just get told about it. Finally, server.listen on port 3000, and we're live. Now we react when someone connects. Socket.io gives us io.onConnection, and it hands us a socket, one unique socket per browser, with its own ID. First thing we do, add this player to our players object at their socket ID, starting at X100, Y100. Then 2 messages go out, and the difference between them is the whole lesson. Socket.emit sends only to this one new player. We send them current players, the entire map, so they can draw everyone who's already here. Then socket.broadcast.emit sends new player to everyone except the person who just joined, because they already know about themselves. Broadcast means everybody else. Remember that phrase. 2 more events, still on that same socket, moving and leaving. When a client sends move with its new position, we first check that the player still exists. Then we store the new position in our player's object, keeping our source of truth current. And we broadcast playerMoved to the others, with the ID and the new X and Y. And when a socket disconnects, they close the tab, we delete them from players, and call io.emit playerLeft. Notice the switch. Here we use io.emit, not socket.broadcast, io.emit goes to absolutely everyone still connected. That's how every remaining player knows to remove the one who left. Broadcast is everyone but the sender, io.emit is truly everyone. Server done. Now the client, this is game.js, inside a phaser scene. The HTML page already loaded phaser and the socket.io client script, so we just connect. This .socket equals io, that one call opens the connection back to our server. We keep an others object to hold everyone else's square, and grab the arrow keys with create cursor keys. Then we listen for current players, the full map the server sent us the moment we joined. We loop every ID in it. If the ID matches our own socket ID, that's us, so we add ourself. Otherwise it's someone already in the game, so we add them as an other. Add self draws your square in a friendly blue. Add other draws their square in red, and stores it in the other's map by ID, so we can find it again later. Now the live handlers, the events that fire while the game is running. newPlayer means someone just joined after us. We simply add them as another red square. playerMoved is the one that makes it feel alive. The server tells us an ID moved to a new X and Y. We look that square up in our others map, and if we have it, we set its position. That's the remote player gliding across your screen. And playerLeft, someone closed their tab. We find their square, destroy it so it vanishes, and delete it from the others map. No ghosts left behind. That's 3 tiny handlers, and together they keep your screen a perfect mirror of the server's truth. Last piece, moving yourself, and telling the server about it the smart way. In update, we remember where we were, then read the arrow keys and nudge our own square. Left, right, up, down, simple. Then the key trick, we check whether we actually moved. We compare the new position to the old one. Only if it changed do we emit move to the server. This one guard matters. Without it, you'd fire a move packet 60 times a second even while standing perfectly still, flooding the server for nothing. Emit only on change, and your network stays quiet until you actually do something. The server takes that move, updates its player's object, and broadcasts it to everyone else, and the loop is complete. Step back and look at the shape of it. The server holds a player's object, the single source of truth. On connection it sends the newcomer the full map, and broadcasts them to everyone else. On move it updates the truth and broadcasts to the others. On disconnect it deletes them and tells everyone. The client connects with I/O, draws a square for each player, and reacts to newPlayer, playerMoved, and playerLeft. It moves itself and emits only when its position changed. 3 rules carry this whole phaser multiplayer tutorial. Socket.broadcast.emit goes to everyone except the sender. IO.emit goes to everyone. And you emit only on change. Get those right, and 2 browsers, or 200, stay in sync. That's real-time multiplayer, server and client, from scratch. You now have the core of every online game, a shared source of truth, and events that keep every screen agreeing. Here's your next move. If you want 10 complete games to pull apart and reskin, the Phaser Game Dev Bundle is $19, full source, link below. And I'm putting together a Phaser showcase next, 10 finished browser games built from these same blocks. Subscribe so you catch it the day it drops. Now go make it yours, add names above the squares, a chat box, or smooth the movement with interpolation. Then open 2 windows and watch them move together. See you in the next one.